Communication so real, no cap. A different language for woman and man. Decode the language and you'll understand. Nah, it'll help you out. Rest assured, women have no doubt. Pillow talk, dinner talk. Give you the info to walk the walk. Now, sometimes it's a foreign language. Now know what's up, don't mistake it. This'll help you every situation. Empower yourself, it's liberating, yeah. Communication, don't need no speculation. Just get that clarification, then reconciliation. Man translation, yeah. Man translation, yeah.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's good? What's good? We back here another Sunday. Did y'all miss me last Sunday? Did y'all miss me? I am a star. I was in a movie. I got a part in a movie. That's all a part of promoting this absolutely wonderful show, the Man Translation Show, where we bridge the gap of communication. Communication means to commune, to bring union, to bring together. And when we talk about all kind of things, we talk about all kind of relationships, romantic, your supervisor, your cheering. We talk about all of that because communication is key to the longevity of any relationship. I am Sky C. I am the CEO and the producer of this show. Yes, I am working behind the scenes to get my producer hat on. I'm learning all about how you make movies because I'm coming out with my own documentary. Yes, I'm coming out with my own documentary. So this show is, this show is my baby. And, that's where I'm cutting my chops at. I'm cutting my chops on this show. And I love you guys that come on and give out feedback and everything, and have fun with us and just share. And this is my son, Dante V. He's our relationship and communication strategist. And he does an amazing job of giving us the man's point of view because men and women don't think the same. And when you're a woman, especially when you're a single woman and you're trying to communicate, with your partner and you're trying to communicate with your male children, it's really important how you really talk to them. And Dante kind of comes here and he adds some balance. And because we are generations apart, that's where we bridging the gap, because my generation and your generation, we do not think the same. Okay. And so it's important to get as many perspectives as you possibly can. There is no right or wrong. No. And there is no men versus women. So tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about who is the prize in the relationship, the man or the woman.
I hear this topic one more time. Oh my gosh.
I ain't never heard the topic before. I've
heard it. I've heard it entirely too many times. I've heard how I guess now this generation of man likes to be pursued, and some women are for it, but most of them like this is weird behavior. I've heard the stories. It's pretty interesting, but I'm definitely gonna give my take on it.
Give it to us, because this is new for me. I come from a generation where men pursued women, and I'm really very grateful at this moment that I've already been married before already. So I don't have to be in this little tug of war. So yes, enlighten us, Dante.
No, I mean, I think I'm about to piss a whole bunch of people off.
Come on.
Well, I personally speaking, dating, being married, being divorced, men don't get certain things. It's almost like, again, back to the whole Chris Rock. You just get the big piece of chicken. That's it. That's all that men require. I've seen on social media on too many occasions, women will go on Facebook and ask other people what they should get as a gift for their significant other. And it's like, we don't do that. Like, we have to know. We have to study. We have to look back and like, okay, she likes this. She doesn't like this. Her mood says this. Like, we have to go through this whole playbook manual, and we have to get it right. If we don't, it's a problem. Don't let me come in here with no Victoria's Secret that's an XL and you're an L. We got a problem. Oh, you're not
That's
paying attention to
terrible.
me. You're not doing like that's the thing. It's like you're just quick to jump on, and it's like, listen, this is what I see. This is what I think. I think who is the prize in the relationship, both y'all should be. There should be an equal level of okay. I'm watching you, you're
Right.
watching me, um, and you pursue off that. I mean, if the man is always doing this, and this, you're leaving an area open for someone else to come in and pick up on the things that you're not doing. Nothing that's going to happen, but it has happened before. Somebody else paying attention to you go out to dinner with, I'm just say this, the work wife, husband, whoever, and they know exactly what you want before you order it. Whereas though your other significant other at home doesn't have that capability to do so because they're not even paying attention. So who's the prize in a relationship? It should be both. Should be both.
Well, like I said, I've already been married, been there, done that, not interested in going back down that road again. But I think that we have lost. First of all, I just want to say, whenever we start out the show, one of the things that we always do so that we can get on the same page is we always define what something is. And for
Yes.
me, a prize is something that you get as a reward for something. And I'm really starting to understand when people say, oh, marriage is work and relationships are work. And I'm just under that's not what my experience was. And I can only talk about what I know about. My experience was it was just very organic. It was just very organic. He just, because I just had this conversation with my other son yesterday. My son came to visit me, and we were talking about, he brought up the 5 love languages. I don't really believe in the 5 love languages. I don't believe in that because I come from a spiritual principle, and I come from a spiritual point of view. And I understand that God is love. Love is who God is, and that love is unconditional. And so when people are jumping through hoops, and my love language is hugs, and my love language is touch, and my love language is gifts, and my love language is affirmation, then you run into the risk of being manipulated by people, and you run into the risk of being validated by people. I come from the point of view that in order to be in any relationship, you must come to the relationship already whole, already have done at least 80% of the work on yourself. Because if I have to be with someone and I constantly have to ego stroke him and tell him his love language is words of affirmation, and I have to tell him that I love him and how wonderful he is and how great he is and how wonderful of a this he is and of that and this and that, and bring him gifts and do this for him and all of that because he's the prize, and if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have air and I wouldn't breathe and life wouldn't be worth living. If the sun wouldn't shine, if your eyes don't open, the sun won't come out, and if your eyes are closed, it's going to be cloudy today. What? That's just too much going on.
I think that's a bit much. I do think some of those things are necessary, yes, but not to that extent where you can't breathe. So open your eyes. What?
Because I'm exaggerating to make a point.
Right.
But the point is that whenever you need outside external validation, you're never going to have enough. That's the point. You're never going to have enough because it's like social media. you come on social media and it's like you get a dopamine hit. Well, how many followers do I have? So you have to have 1,000 followers, and 1,000 followers, and I'll get a check from YouTube. And then how many followers do I have? And I've been on here 6 months, and I don't have many followers. And you have 10,000 followers. How many followers do you have? And you have 1,000 followers. Because every time I get a follower, I get a hit, a dopamine. I get a hit, a dopamine. And so every time I wake up, I pick up my phone and I have to look at my phone because I need a hit. I need a hit. I need a hit. And that is all not normal. Because that's a prize. That follower that you got, that thumbs up that you got, that's a prize. So we can't live our lives off of prizes and trinkets because it's all too shallow. And I'm just saying that we need to be, a little bit more grounded and a little bit more of what I call a self-contained unit. When you're a self-contained unit, you do not look for outside validation, because outside validation can be addicting. It could be manipulative. Somebody can bring you flowers and still not give 2 cents about you. Somebody can give you words of affirmation and give you hugs and still don't care nothing about you. Still do what they're going to do. Still beat you. Still, because a lot of times after domestic violence and after they done stomped you and kicked you and punched you, and swole your mouth and swole your eyes, then they feel guilty and then they want to hug you because, baby, I love you. Because why? That's their pattern. That's their cycle. So whenever we are dealing with love is unconditional. I want to come from that premise. If I never tell you that I love you, Dante, know that I love you. Awesome. If I never send you flowers, if I never give you anything for your birthday, if I never give you a tie or a pair of socks or whatever, some sheen for your hair, know that I love you unconditionally. If you call me, I love you. If you don't visit me, I love you. If I haven't seen you in a month of whole Sundays, I love you. It is unconditional love. All of these strings, too many strings. No wonder. It's so much work. Now, there is nothing in organically spending time with your partner. You can give me the angry face. I don't care. There's nothing.
No. That was me. My finger slipped. I was trying to see who the actual Facebook user was. That's Miss Ebony.
There's nothing wrong with expressing, but when it becomes an obligation, that I got to give you 10 hugs a day and I got to give you words of affirmation and I have to give you gifts and I got to buy you diamonds and I got to buy you necklaces and I got to flew you out, it becomes an obligation. It's too much work. It's too much work. So happy life, happy wife. So the wife is happy and everybody else in the house is miserable.
If I ever hear that again, that is completely unfair. That's unfair.
It is. What about happy spouse, happy house? You want the whole house. You want the whole house happy. How about that? Yes. Let's do that. Let's do happy house, happy spouse. Because I'm a spouse and you a spouse. And if I'm happy, and if you happy, the kids gonna be happy. Not only that, I'm not a court jester. I am not a court jester. It is not my job to make you happy. It's not my job to make you anything.
I'm only here to contribute.
I am here to share my wholeness with you. I'm here to share my amazingness with you. I already know that I'm amazing. I already know that I'm beautiful. I know that I am intelligent. I already know all those affirmations. It's just confirmation. I already know that. So let me just be who I am and let us just enjoy each other. Uh-huh. No strings attached. It's too many strings. Is this the puppeteer? Are we where are we? What is going on? You're the prize. What do you mean? Are we at the circus? I thought we did the show about are you on the roller coaster? Is your relationship a circus? We already did that show already. Uh-huh. This is not a circus where you get a prize. Am I the prize? This the reward for what? So what do I get the prize for? I get the prize for sleeping with you. What do I get a prize for giving you a kiss?
Well, again, I
What
think
do I have to do to get this amazing prize?
no, it's really more so of the prize of you staying here. Not we're not talking about the actual definition of the word, but more so again, the prize or the gift of you being here on a consistent basis, or the fact that I get to put a smile on your face, or something to that effect.
I came in
Like,
smiling. I was
all
already
right,
smiling.
right, but yes, again, as you said, let me share some of my wholeness
Share
with you to
with
keep
you.
that smile on your face,
Yeah.
to be in addition to what you're already to what you already have and what you already got going.
I'm not saying you can't express your love. What I'm saying is that when you start to make people feel obligated,
Yes, that is, which is, I understand where you're coming from. It's almost like, which is, okay, let's backtrack. When you and dad got together, you said it felt organic. It did not feel like it was work. Things
right?
just, you guys just clicked. You understood him, he understood you. When this generation or some of the people in this generation, they don't look at relationships like that anymore because it is work. Because when they go in, there is a requirement that has to be met, and you have to do this same particular thing on a consistent basis. I've heard from a number of people, it's like, don't come in doing something and then you just stop. It's like, I might forget, it might not be on my mind, or whatever the case may be. So I'm penalized for something that I'm no longer
Right,
doing. Um,
right,
People who have the expectation that you should be doing something
right,
based off of what they think you should be doing, or based off what you've been doing in the
right.
past, rather than, as you said, just letting things just happen organically, letting them be who they are. All right, so
Exactly.
you didn't get the door for me this particular time. I'm not
Right,
upset. Rather than you walk around pouting because I forgot to get the door because my damn hands were full. But because this is now a requirement or a bar that you set for me that I'm no longer meeting, now it's a
right.
problem. So that is the work aspect that people are referring
Exactly.
to.
Yep.
People don't. It's like I'm in this relationship, or I want this relationship because I want something from you,
From
rather than
you. Exactly.
hey, you're here, I'm here. Let me enjoy you for you, without any expectations, without any stipulations. Now, granted, we're not talking about boundaries. We're not talking about you let them come in and they just disrespect you, run all over you. We're not referring to that, because you can go. Understand that I want you here. I don't need you here.
Right.
The level of
Exactly.
the level of dependency that most people place on your significant other, it's weird.
And not
It's
only
weird.
that, it's like, men are saying that they are the prize. And so now women are chasing them because they're saying that they're the prize, and they're no longer, chasing after the women. And that's not really how, in my generation, how things were really done. It wasn't really about a chase. For me, it was about somebody showing interest. It started out as
Mhm.
somebody showing that they were interested in you, and either you reciprocated or you didn't. If you
Right.
decided to reciprocate, communication started, friendship
Mhm.
started. Okay, let me get to know you, let you get to know me. Okay, what do you
Uh-huh.
like to eat? I like pizza. All right, let's go out for some pizza then. And so it was just like, okay, well, let's get to know each other. Okay, communication, that's what this show is about. Communication is what brings union. It is what brings togetherness, which is why communication, when you hear people been married 25 and 27, and what's the secret to your marriage, they're going to tell you communication, because
Mhm.
communication is a form of communion. It brings unity if it's done correctly. We think that we have to agree because y'all don't know what the definition of it, what it means to agree. Agree doesn't mean you have to sound like me, you have to think like me. That's not what agreement means. Agreement means to be on one accord.
Mhm.
Accord, where's all my music people? A chord, I think, has 3 notes in it, but every note has a distinct sound. Every note has a distinct voice. They don't all sound the same, but they come
No.
together in accord, on one accord, in harmony. So it doesn't mean you have to lose your identity. You don't have to lose who you are. You should not have to lose your voice. You should not have to lose the person that you have become in order to come into a relationship to prove to someone that you are the prize.
Yeah, I'm not proving nothing to nobody. You can go.
Exactly.
Call it
Because
mean,
you're going
call
to
it
be
harsh.
constantly working. And when you
Right.
are dealing with somebody that needs that constant validation, number one, it's a flag that they're broken.
Huge.
They're
Huge flag.
broken. If somebody got to constantly tell you how intelligent you are, how smart you are, and how much I love you every day, I love you, I love you, I love you. Really? I got to tell you every day that I love you? Who we trying to convince?
And we're not talking about children. Children are a
No,
completely
we're
separate
not talking about
conversation.
children because you
We're
need to
talking
tell
about
children.
right. We're talking about
Children,
the
they need
people
that.
who are
They not right. They
right.
not. I'm glad you
That's
said
different.
that, Dr.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not talking about children because children need all the hugs. Yeah, put all the love languages on them because they the ones that need it. They need all the love languages. Your big old adult butt talking about you. I need a hug. If you don't go sit down somewhere, you ain't get enough hugs from your mama. If you don't go on somewhere, you need a hug. And you need words of affirmation. You better go stand in that mirror and tell yourself 10 times and spin around and come back out and go and get that job done. You ain't 7. No, that's just too much going on. That's why, because I couldn't figure out why people kept saying marriages work. I kept saying, well, I guess that's why my marriage ended. Then I wasn't doing enough work. No, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing way too much.
Now, all right.
Dirty John. We ain't talked about Dirty John in a while. Dirty John made that woman a smoothie every morning. Dirty John was just as charming as he wanted to be. He gave that woman hugs, all the 5 languages, whatever's on that little list. He gave her all of them, and he was dirty. And when it turned out, he tore up that one. He took all her money, burned up her car, tried to kill her daughter, because those are things that people can also use to manipulate you. You should not. I want us as women and men to get to a place that we do not seek out external validation.
No.
That's what I want us to do. If you tell me you love me, that's so cute. Thank you. And if you don't, because I come across too many people that worry about what people think about them. I come across too many depressed people. I come across too many people that are suicidal and have to pray them off the ledge. Because why? Because they don't feel loved. Love is not a feeling. Love is a spirit. It is a spirit. And it is unconditional. And it is really sacrificial. When you are a mother, you have a sacrificial love for your children. You sacrifice for them. You go out, you work, you earn a paycheck, you make sure it's food in the house. All of that is part of love. They didn't ask you to do that. You're doing that because you love them. So you're going to automatically, when you love somebody, you're going to automatically give to them. Automatically. It's organic. Let it be organic. Let it flow. A man, when he cares about you, he shows interest in you, and you sit and you can have a conversation. I'm going to tell you what he's going to do. He's going to watch you. He's going to begin to watch you to see what you like, what you don't like. And a lot of times they watch you before they approach you. So by the time they approach you, they already know. They already probably know They done smelt your perfume. I remember one guy, I was leaving the job when I left Maryland and came to Houston. And I was cleaning out my office because I had resigned and I was getting the rest of the stuff out, even though I had already moved all my stuff out. I just had a couple of things I had to do. He called me on the office phone. He said, "I know you in here because I smell your perfume." I said, I don't. That's perfume. Anybody can go to the store and buy that perfume. He said, "No, don't nobody wear that perfume but you. Where you at?" I said, "I'm in my office getting the rest of my stuff out." So they already going to watch you. They already going to know what your favorite color is. They're already going to know what your favorite perfume is because they're already gathering information. So when he said, "You know what, you want to hang out, you want to go out, cool," or when he finds out it's your birthday, like, "Come on, let's hang out for your birthday." He done already went and bought you a gift. He done already bought you a gift. You ain't got to ask him to buy you no gift. You ain't tell him, your love language was gifts, nothing. You ain't had to say none of that. He done already bought you a gift because love gives organically. Love sacrifices organically. So why do I have to sit there and tell you my love language is words of affirmation?
Now, I'll interject for a moment. Now, I will say it does feel good to have someone give you the, I mean, not a consistent, but it's like, because, you can do for yourself, yes. But to
Right.
have someone else, like, okay, so, this, I've told you this, or expressed this, or you studied and this is what you
Yeah.
found out, and you give that occasional, that boost, yeah, that goes a long way.
That goes
But
a long
having
way, but it's not a requirement.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, having that as a requirement that you have to tell me these certain things,
Yes.
5 times a day. I mean, as an
Right.
exaggeration, but you
Yeah.
you have to do this or you have to do that. Yeah, that's where the work comes in at. Allow me
Right.
to be those things when you actually need them. Like, not every day is that. Since you're having a bad day, what can I do what can
Right.
I do as a pick me up? Like, I'm not going to ask you, like, I mean, I'm going to ask, like, hey, how can I be of need, to you? What do you need from me, or whatever the case may be, whether it's space or whatever. But, let me go ahead and give some affirmations, or let me give you a hug, or, we can just sit in silence, or whatever the case may be. But making
But the
that a
thing is
requirement is a
that
problem.
really you should be doing all 5 at different times as you
Yes.
see fit. Not that they're a
Uh-huh.
requirement, not that they're an obligation, and not that I thrive off of them. And if you don't give them to me, then I don't feel special. So now I depend on them to make me feel like who I am. Something's wrong with that.
Yes.
Something is wrong with that. It's the same thing with this whole marriage thing. That marriage is the end all to the be all, and he picked me, and all of this, and oh yeah, I's married now, and you don't know nothing about marriage, don't know the purpose of marriage. You barely even talk to the person, and don't probably even like them. You just don't want to be by yourself. So I want us to really think about the fact that we are both the prize in and of itself because of who we are,
Yes.
not because
Yes.
I'm a trinket and I'm not to be toyed with. Because I do know my worth and because I do know my value and because I do know what I bring to the table, I'm not going to allow you to reduce me because I feel like this is very objectifying on both sides.
Yeah.
Because you can objectify a man too. And some women just objectify the man because they just want some dang-a-lang.
Or food. I've been through it personally. I've seen it happen. There's actually was a poll not too long ago that some women just go on the date just for food, but they're really not interested. Just for food, nothing else. I'm hungry. Let's go out to eat, and then after that, like, and I've heard conversations with women. I'm not really gonna protect the innocent. I'm not gonna say no names. They be like, "Yeah, such and such. Some real good places to eat." It's like because you trying to date and go out, like using this
because
man
we
for
don't
food.
because it just seems like this generation and this society it's not, we're not attacked. I say this all the time. We don't see the humanity. We don't see that that's a human being. We don't see that the rejection that men have to deal with. Men have to deal with a lot of rejection. Then they have to go to work and deal with the stuff on their job. Then they got to come home and jump through hoops for you because you need a hug and you need a gift and you need an affirmation. And I got to be in service to you because you the prize. Am I the prize? Who's the prize? I don't know. I'm tired. I'm going
It should
to sleep.
be both. It should be both. The pursuit should be on both.
Because we're not entering into relationships based on purpose. We're not entering into a relationship based on mission. We're not entering into a relationship based on vision. We're entering into relationships that are very shallow and they're all for show. It's like the facade on the house. When you snatch it off, you see all the ugly underneath there, the nails and the glue. It's all a facade. It's all for show. When you see two people all over each other and holding hands and compliment, not always, because you can't say it about everybody, but in my experience, the ones that doing the most in the public, they having the main problems in private.
It's when they overly do it in front of people.
That's what I'm talking about.
Y'all not like that. Y'all not like that behind closed doors.
Exactly. Can't stand each other. It's all for show. It's all for show because it's such a taboo to be single. It's such a taboo to be by yourself. If you're by yourself, then something is wrong with you. What's wrong with her? She must hate men. What's wrong with her? She must like women.
I value my time by myself.
What's wrong? Something got to be wrong. We're just not living in that time. And then it's like for a woman, I think the conversation that I was privy to before I did this show was that men's value go up as they get older and a woman's value go down. Oh, because the woman, she gains weight, she loses her looks, and by the time she 30, she all washed up. Well, if you 40, 50, or 60, you might well go just jump off a bridge. So I find
40, 50, 60-year-old getting married.
I just find it all to be very backwards thinking because anything that ages, to me, it gives more value when things are able to age.
That's how it's supposed to be, yes.
But no.
I see where they're coming from with that mentality because it goes back to the women, what is it? Women date who they want, men marry who they want. It was some crazy mess like that. But they think because the man has now settled down, he knows what he wants, so that's what he goes after. Whereas women, once they get to a certain caliber, it's like the men your age don't want you, so the only thing you got is to be a cougar and date below. Or date someone who you can, nah.
Right. So that's where this men is the prize come from. Because they're trying to say it's that Kevin Samuels high value man, high value woman situation. So it's like even if a woman is in her 50s and she might, have money and she might still look good or whatever, but to them she doesn't have any, she doesn't have any value. You know what I mean? But for a man, he's now a silver fox, And he looking good. He got his 55-piece suit on and his silver beard and his hat. And he's strutting around like a peacock because he's trying to get him a little 20, 25-year-old. Don't want anything past 30. That's dangerous for society to not see the value in people that are older, wiser, have way more experience to offer. You know what I'm saying? Not even just in a relationship, but just for you to learn from. In African culture, that's what the young people do. They go sit at the feet of the elders. They might, in this society, they might well just shoot you and put you out the pasture when you turn 40. Because to them, you don't see, and it's such a conditioning from what's flowing through the bloodline. Y'all always talking about this generational, breaking generational curses. Well, that's one of them. That's a conditioning. Why? The alpha man comes from what? Them putting the value. The alpha man was what? The slave that could bring the most cotton. And then the second runner up, the beta man. That's where those terms come from. Those are slavery terms. We are not in no slavery. Wait, this ain't yes or massa. What y'all think this is? It's time to just redefine. Y'all want to redefine marriage. Y'all want to redefine everything else. Let's add this to the pile.
Well, in order for you to redefine anything, you got to understand the true purpose, the true meaning, the true definition of such before you even touch and do anything. And I definitely don't think that that's a thing that's happened with this generation, especially if you're saying relationship work. You just being with any damn body.
It just seems as though it's a role reversal all around, because now men want you to chase them. I know my name is Chase, but that ain't happening.
I understand where it comes from, because again, I'm going to say something that might be controversial, but whatever. Most women don't have any game. I said it. Like, in order to go up and because like I don't want to say like the mixed signal, but it's like, well, yeah, he's fine. And you look at him, and we're just supposed to understand that this is what you want. Like, granted, if you come over and initiate, I'm gonna finish. But how am I supposed to know that you're attracted by you just looking at me and you got this weird twitch in your eye? I don't. Like, women do not have game. I said it. So it would be nice for if you want to go get the man, then go get the man. Start the conversation. Put the spark there. Eventually, we'll catch on, because I will say this. I've said it before. Some men, we're not too bright, and I'm putting myself in that category as well. You can throw hints all day. We ain't gonna catch it. You have to be direct with some of us. Some of us, yeah, we gonna peep game from afar. We're gonna jump on it. So I understand that them saying, "Oh, we're the prize. You need to pursue us too." Yeah, but only to an extent. Like, once you get started, okay, cool, but not the whole you showing up with flowers and candy and all the other stuff. I mean, to me, that's excessive. I don't need all that. Just initiate conversation. Tell why you here. State your business.
Well, I'll tell you why you here. State your business. I just watched the first episode of Wind Down with Mary J. Blige. Taraji P. And I think this girl named Miami or something her name is. I think the girl that was dealing with Diddy, I believe that's who it was, young girl, and everything. Yeah. And Mary was asking like certain questions and stuff, and Taraji was just talking about how you ain't really, you can't even really find. Then these are celebrities. Yeah, and I'm looking at them like, all these black celebrities single, and y'all can't find no man. Like, y'all can't hook up. Y'all like, y'all don't know no.
Because I think now hold on. I think for celebrities, I think it's worse, because you don't know who's who. Like, you got Mary J. You thought you was with somebody because it was about love, and this person had your best interest at heart. Next thing you know, you're paying spousal support and looking crazy. So I think it's harder for celebrities, because you got to figure out who's genuinely genuine. Whereas us, it's like, all right, I ain't got that much money, but hey, you here.
But I think you have to find out who's genuine, whether you're a celebrity or not.
Yes, I just think that it's harder for actual celebrities, because everyone knows you. They know your network. It's almost like being in the military. When you get down there, they know how much you make before you know how much you make.
Yeah,
when you get paid, benefits, and it's like, so you don't know who's really in your corner and who's not. Same thing with celebrity. I could Google all y'all. So it's like, what's it going to take for me to get to, Taraji or Mary J or whomever? Like, I got that. They don't have that. They're not. You Google me, Facebook gonna pop up. That's it.
It's one of the celebrities that found. I think it was Essence Atkins. She found her husband online, and they stayed together for a little minute, but then eventually they just got divorced. I just think that people don't really understand the importance of communication. It's the glue that holds everything together, and it's the thing that's going to make the relationship organic. But I hear a lot of women say that, oh, the man, he won't talk to me, he won't talk. But it just amazes me how people always look at the effect of something, but they never examine what the cause is.
No,
There's a
because
cause.
it's about what they can get.
It's a cause to every effect. If he's not communicating with you, it's a reason. Can he trust you? Can he trust you? Or did he tell you something that happened to him at work and he came and talked to you and then he caught you on the phone telling your friend, and then you was in there like, girl, I'm so tired of him complaining. Girl, that's all he do. Now he coming in here talking about them people in that job. He better keep that job because I need to be flued out to Miami.
From a man's perspective, nobody gives a damn about us. Like, I understand.
Oh,
I'm just like the
okay.
figure it out. Like women, it's like women. It's like I'll do it myself. Okay, fine. For men, go figure it out. Like to come in and have a hard day and actually be able to express that with some people, it's like the dumb look on your face. Like, all right, so what you want me to do? We still going out to dinner later, or you want the big piece of chicken? Like, what do you want for me to do?
And
That's what
that
we got to
that
deal with.
and I see that. I see that like really a lot. I really do. And that's one of the reasons why whenever like, my male friendships and stuff, I always try to encourage men and I always try to build them up because sometimes when I overhear the way a woman be talking to her dude, I be like, oh Lord, have mercy. It's be terrible.
Yeah, the line
Because
of
she just be
disrespect is there.
ripping them up one
And, so-
side and down the other side. My
and I think my favorite is, you're the man. You should be able to do A, B, C, D. And it's like, you don't need to be here no more. It's time for you to go.
yeah, it is, and I'm not, I'm not saying that is, that men that you have to stroke their ego, but I just think that in any relationship, no matter who it is, you just got to recognize people's humanity. And you have to recognize that people it's like I just don't see any compassion coming from people. Like we
No.
live in such a cold world, and that's the word. The word was said, hearts will wax cold, people will get cold, and I see it. Like people are so cold that, but I think that that's also a defense mechanism because the opposite of love is indifference. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifferent. And to be indifferent is to die. You're dying. You're literally dying. When you don't even care, you're numb. That means you've been wounded and hurt so much.
I've been there.
You just a zombie
to
walking
just
around.
go to just go through the motions of just
Woo, Lord. See, T always coming here being all profound and intelligent. Woo, T. Go ahead, Dante. You can take that one.
I
Wow.
feel like the problem with I feel like that's the problem with men. They get tied up with women who don't care about their emotional and mental well being, and they take it on the other women who actually do care about them.
That
Yes, yes,
ooh,
and I
wait.
and not to do the tit for tat, but I definitely think it's on both ends. Um, because you find someone of value, you find someone who actually does give a damn about you, and you can't even see it. So you're taking out your previous relationship out on them rather than you actually just dealing with that and going forth with it. And it's like, so now you turn this woman against men. well, I can't say against men, but it's like
Yeah.
there's no good men out here.
No, it's like what I said. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifferent. Now they indifferent. Now they're not even willing to give the woman a chance that care about them because they scared to open up. Because the other woman that hurt them so much, they done messed them up emotionally. Because people, let me tell you, women, I'm talking to the women. Y'all don't realize men are very sensitive. I know they try to act like they are tough and everything, but they are really not. Men are very sensitive, and it's not really a bad thing because you want them to be sensitive. You don't really want you want a balance going on. You know what I'm saying? And especially if he's gifted and if he's very intelligent, he's going to be sensitive, and he's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like Michael Jackson. You got all the brothers, everybody got beat, everybody got spanked. But why did Michael Jackson take it so hard? So he took it all the way to his almost to his grave. He just forgave his father just before his dad died. You wasted all that time. Why? Because he's sensitive. And he wouldn't be who he is if he wasn't sensitive. Because you have to, when you're gifted, when you're a highly gifted person, when you're highly intelligent, you're going to be highly gifted. You're going to be highly sensitive. So there's a balance, and there is a treasuring that has to take place, when that happens. But people don't really realize that because, like she said, now he's with somebody that care about him. He don't want to let his guard down now. He's scared now.
Right.
He doesn't trust it. That's what I'm saying. That's why indifference is so dangerous.
It is. It definitely is. Again, I've been there. I've been in a relationship, and I've been there.
Because that means
you don't know what to do.
You don't even care. You don't care one way or another. It don't even matter one way or another. That means that person is in a lot of pain. That means they've endured a lot of emotion. They have a lot of emotional wounds.
Express it. Can't let it out. Can't do anything. Can't talk about it. Can't do nothing. Like, I've been in relationships where I had to suppress.
Men are also taught early to not express themselves. The only emotion they know how to express is anger, when in reality, they be hurt, upset, sad, but they don't know how to talk about it. That is so true.
And that also, we're not given the space to either. Like, we don't have anyone we can go to.
Even if you're given the space, you still scared. Because it's like, I also find that a lot of people, not just men, a lot of people don't really know how to express themselves. And that's why when we come on here, the first thing we do is we give you the definition of what it is that we're talking about, so that we can be on the, because your definition of something and my definition of something is totally different. So we're trying to communicate, but we ain't even on the same page yet. See, agreement does not mean that you think like I think, you talk like I talk. Agreement means that we come into harmony with our differences. Back to the music. The chord, it has every note has a distinct sound. I need your perspective. I need your voice. I need to hear what T is thinking. What T is thinking is valuable. I need to hear it. Because why? We need to add it to the sound. And when we put all the notes together, we make one sound. That's what it means to be on one accord. That's what it means to be in agreement. It doesn't mean you have to think like me or I have to think like you. No, I need T to be T. I need T to be T from the head down to the, I need T to be exactly who T is. I don't need to change nothing about it. Nothing. And then we put it together, and then guess what happens? A whole song emerges that everybody can enjoy. But you have to get on the same page as far as define that thing that you mean. What you mean when you say prize? Because what I got ain't no knick-knack, bro. What you mean? This ain't no trinket. What you talking about? What you saying? So we can't trivialize one another. We cannot objectify one another. We have to see the value in the fact that this is a human being. This is a king. This is a king right here. And handle him appropriately.
And accordingly.
Okay? And so I'm not understanding this culture. Well, men is the prize, and when you're 50, you don't look good, and you're fat, and you lose your value. I beg to differ. And men, but see, this is the thing. Not only are men not taught to express themselves, and the only emotion that they can show is anger, the other way that they express themselves is promiscuity. When a man goes around sleeping with a lot of women, he's broken.
And unhappy.
He's very broken. And it's like, one of my friends, one of the questions that I asked a bunch of men, like I used to ask this question to men all the time, like, why y'all act like y'all can't control y'all penis? Why y'all act like the penis, got a head and it got a brain? Why y'all act like y'all penis it got an eye and it can see? Like, it got a head, but it don't have no brain. Why y'all act like it got a brain? And so he was like, men, it's hard for men to be satisfied when they've been with a lot of women, because he's going to compare you to the other women that he's been with. Now, he got you twisted all up like a pretzel, because that other woman he was with, he twisted her up like she was a pretzel. Now, he come over here trying to do gymnastics with your body. What I see a lot in my profession is adults that were raised and operating in survival mode, which means they're constantly in fight or flight mode. They're not able to identify or sit with feelings. That is so true. And you got to sit in it. You got to sit in it because it's uncomfortable. Yeah. And every time things get uncomfortable, people run. Broken people run. They don't want to face it. That's why I tell people confrontation is not bad. It means that means we're having a conversation. Front means we're having a front-facing conversation. Face to face. Face it. Because you're not going to heal from it by running. And guess what? It ain't going nowhere. I have 4 adult children. I have given every last one of them the opportunity to come to me and say to me whatever it is they need to say. Because I recognize that as a mother, I am not perfect. As a mother, I made mistakes. And I may not be aware that I made those mistakes. So I allow you just to do it in a respectful manner, to express to me anything that hurt you, that anything that I may have said that I'm not aware that I said, all of that, because I understand that you're not going to be able to move on in any relationship if you got mommy issues. You're going to take all your mommy issues out on every woman that you come across. So I give them the space to come, and I listen. I give them the space to express themselves, and I listen. It's only one condition. We have to operate from a place of truth. Not my truth, not your truth, but the truth. Yep. And that's how reconciliation happens with communication. And a lot of mothers can't sit in that. They can't stand to hear their children say, oh, well, you said something Dante said, I said, I probably did, boy. You know what I was dealing with? He's like, well, you snapped on me. I probably did. But the intention was never to hurt you.
Right.
The intention is never to, you're my son. The intention was never to hurt you. I just didn't handle whatever you were saying to me at that particular time. Because a lot of times when people are hurt, See, y'all say people hurt people. No. Hurt people hurt themselves first, and then they hurt other people. When you're hurting, the first person you're gonna hurt is you, and then everybody else that you come across.
Yep.
Well, I want my adult children to have healthy relationships, and I know that if they have any mommy issues, we have to deal with that so that they can have successful relationships. And so, because I'm a very like I don't know how to describe myself. I'm a very like in your face type person. I'm very in your face. I don't hold cut cards. I speak whatever it is, and I handle it right there.
Got to be ready.
If you say something I don't like, if you do something I don't like, because I don't hold grudges. I don't do grudges. So if you say something or do something I don't like, I'm gonna let you know right here and right now.
Yeah, you gotta stop.
Relationships that I have, they all based on truth and honesty. I surround myself with people that they are required to tell me the absolute truth at all times about myself. Whatever blind spot you see, if you pray for me, God show you something, tell me, because my life could depend on it. I don't let people sugarcoat stuff. That's why I'm able to grow leaps and bounds. I grow leaps and bounds because I hold myself to the fire. And I hold everybody around me to the fire. And my counsel holds me to the fire. I take full accountability. If my son say, Mom, you know what? I didn't like the way you said, whatever, I'd be like, you know what, son? I apologize. I don't have no problem apologizing to my adult children for anything they perceive that I've done, because I want them healed and I want them whole. I want them healed and I want them whole, and I want their relationships successful. A healed woman and man are both the prize. Look at T. They know how to do what's best for themselves in their relationship, which unfortunately is another problem because a lot of people don't even know what they want. You know what?
Can we end the show now?
That's it.
We're done. We're done.
That's all.
There you go.
That's it. A healed woman and man are both the prize. Bam. That's the show. All right, T. We're gonna have to bring T on the show. T will have to come on now. You got to get on from hiding. Get on back there from hiding. Come on out. Cause that right there, that's it. It ain't nothing else for me. I ain't got nothing else to say.
That's it. We might have to put that on something. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That right. A healed man or woman are both the prize. We're gonna put that on a shirt or cup or something. T. We're gonna straight steal that since you want to hide back there. There it is. That's it. You got something to say? I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, but no. That's it for me.
Yes, we love you. We see you guys next Sunday. Thank you all for participating.